Those of you who view this channel on a regular basis will know I quite like these moving flame LED candles, the ones that have the little plastic flame, the LED projects up against it and it moves about with sort of a magnetic pulsar. And someone got in touch on the message section of YouTube and said, we manufacture these candles and, you know, can we send you one of our moving flame candles to take a look at? And I said, yeah, that'd be quite interesting, let's take a look at that. And they said it was on its way, and it arrived a wee bit later because they got the first line of the address was missing completely, but it got here. And I opened it up, and these aren't moving flame candles, these are Gothic tea lights. So yeah, it's a little tea light with Gothic frills around it. I mean, it's quite stylish. It really looks like the classic, what you'd expect of this sort of Gothic image. And you twist the base, and the little tea light LED starts flickering. It's one of the classic yellow ones. Not only that, but the box also contained these rough hemp lights, which is a tea light with sort of like hemp string, and it's the same arrangement. It's got a little twist mechanism in the back to actually turn it on and off. So yes, let's take a look at these anyway. I'm a wee bit disappointed it's not the moving flame light, but let's take a wee look and see what's inside these. So it's the standard yellow flickering LED, and on the back you've got the rotary system, and it seems to make quite good contacts. Some of them are a wee bit shonk in the contacts. This one seems to work quite well, and if you turn it right round to open and pull, it comes out and it reveals a standard 2032 cell. And on the back of this is a sort of wiping contact that makes connection with the positive plate and then wipes onto this contact at the edge here. And it's kind of interesting that the negative connection is just obviously an LED lead folded back, but they've got these little fins that almost alludes to the fact it might have been designed with a slight modification or a slight different moulding to actually take much bigger cells. But having said that, the 2032 is one of the most standard cells. The CR2032 means, the CR indicates it's a non-rechargeable lithium, 2032 20mm by 3.2mm thick. Useful to know. So actually I've just seen there's screws in this. That's odd. These things are usually glued together. Different size bit. So let's pop the screws out and take a wee look inside. Not expecting much. I'm expecting the flickering LED, maybe a resistor. Two little screws out. Oh, it is going to come out. Yep, it's just the flat top flickering LED. Oh, it's actually soldered, which is quite nice. Soldered onto the positive connection, and the negative is just folded underneath. You know what? This would be quite nice, the green LED in it, wouldn't it? Just for that goth look. One moment, I'm just going to put the soldering iron on, we'll change the LED. Okay, that's the soldering iron up to temperature. I've got the green LED looked out, so let's start by removing the original LED. So I'm going to fold up the lead underneath. This is the negative lead folds up. The LED itself is sort of hot melt glued into the middle, so we nip with a pair of the cheapo snips just to actually prise that up. And I'll keep that LED because it is a flickering LED. It's one of those hideous yellow flickering LEDs, but it is a flickering LED. So let's see, the negative, the positive is going to kick over an angle. The negative is going to kick over the opposite angle and then point down the way. So let's see, it's going to bend round about there. Pop through. I should heat the hot melt and flow it again, but it doesn't really matter. The hot melt glue, so I'm just going to bring that lead round and attempt to solder it onto the contact at the side. Seems fairly straightforward to do. Some of these things, the LEDs, are just wedged in so tight, or the worst tea lights, the ones that are glued together. I quite like the fact this one is at least openable with the screws. So let's bend that into position. Actually, I'll flow some more solder on that first. That would probably be a good idea. pop a wee spot of solder on there, just to flow a bit new bit, and I'll also pop it onto the tin the lead of the LED. Oops. The temptation is just to sort of touch the hot melt with the side of the solder iron just to melt it again, but I don't want to start. That'll just make the place stink of hot melt. Burning hot melt at that. So let's reflow that. Job done. And theoretically that's our modification made. We've turned into a frilly, dark, gothic tea light. Worthy of the Disney Haunted Mansion. So let's put this back together again. Oh, there's actually a keying slot in the edge. That's quite handy. Oh, that's quite. It's quite. I will say it's quite a neat module. It's quite a neat sort of assembly. It's not just stuck together like so many of them are. In go the screws. In goes the battery. On goes the cap. Now let's see, this is going to, where's the wee arrow? The arrow points to the open. Oop. Close. Oh yeah. Oh, that's quite neat actually, I quite like that. I'll show you, I'm going to put the lights out and I'll show you this in the dark. There we go, it looks kind of silly but sinister. It's got that weird gothic sort of black lace and death look to it with the green flame. That actually works quite well. It looks quite nice. It doesn't flicker obviously unless you manage to get yourself a flickering green LED. But yeah, that's actually just improved that no end. That's just a perfect Halloween prop now. So I suppose ultimately if you wanted it to be brighter, if you wanted it to run longer in the batteries, you could use the, I'm not sure which would last longer, the two 216 cells stacked, because it seems like it could probably take that inside, or the single 2032. But yeah, that's a good look. Now I have to decide what I'm going to do with the hemp one. I'm not really sure about that. So yeah, if anything, I would have preferred something like this to have the flickering warm white LEDs that nobody seems to, you know, they always seem to go for these yellow LEDs. But it's the exact same case, but someone has, I presume, has someone actually hand wound all this stuff on and stuck it on with glue? That'd be quite time consuming. Likewise, the lace appears to be just a section of a strip of sort of lace trimming actually wrapped round and then a wee tack of glue at the top and at the bottom just to actually join them together. Is it tacked with glue? I think yes it is. I can see the shininess of the glue. But that's quite amusing, more than anything else. So I've got a box of these, and do you know what I'm going to do? I'll put a link to honour the fact that they sent this stuff free, so I'll put a link to the Amazon listings for these, because certainly the lace one in particular is quite amusing. It's got potential for spooky modifications. But what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to put this in a box of stuff, and I'm going to include it whenever I send out prizes. I'm going to randomly select. You might get, when I run competitions in the future, you may get a frilly lace tea light included in your prize, or a rough hemp tea light. So yeah, I think that's the best option. We'll just spread them about and share them with the competitions. So I have to say the lace is quite a nice effect. I wonder why they don't use it around normal tea lights, because it would look quite, oh right, okay, that explains that then.